Welcome all for the happy learning on data structures, and we'll start the second module today. The second module is about algorithms and introduction to data structure. We'll see the content of our second module. The first session will be algorithms. The second session will be asymptotic notation, followed by the introduction to data structure. Then we have types of data structure, followed by arrays and types of arrays, and we have traversal, insertion, deletions used in data structure, followed by sorting and searching algorithm, and finally we have matrix operations that we use in data structure. Today we'll see the first session of our second module, that is about algorithms. Okay, generally how do we give an instruction to a computer? As computer cannot understand, it understands only the machine language that is combination of zeros and ones. We give instruction to the computer so that the instruction, with that instruction, our language, we'll be using a high level language, and with that language, with the help of interpreter, it will be converted into machine language. We do this by giving a set of instruction to the computer. Algorithm is nothing but the instruction what we give, the step-by-step procedure or instruction that we feed to a computer to perform a specific task. That is known as algorithm. We define that as an unambiguous instruction for solving a problem. We give a scenario where it has to be solved, or we give a problem statement where it has to be solved, and to solve that problem statement we give a set of instruction. That set of instruction we define as algorithm. It is a well-defined computational procedure which is taking some set of input values and process that and produces the output. See, this is an algorithmic representation as similar to a flow chart. We have an input and instruction we give. We identify the problem statement for each and every application we have, and we define an algorithm for that problem statement, and with that problem statement our system will be working with the instruction what is given by the user, and it produces the output. This is the flow chart we have for an algorithm. It is nothing but set of instruction to solve a particular task, or it is a set of instruction which is defined to solve a finite to obtain a finite solution in a finite number of steps. Here we give an input, and that with the help of algorithm what we give, that is with the help of step-by-step sequence given by the user, it produces some sort of output. We have few characteristics in the algorithm. First is input, then we have the output, then we have finiteness, then we have definiteness, and the effectiveness. These are all the characteristics which determine an efficiency of an algorithm. Now we'll see what is the specification to represent an algorithm. Generally, there are three ways to represent an algorithm. First is by using a natural language. Here we use English. Okay, it is very we used to give the algorithm. For example, to add two numbers, we give first step as start the program, second step as get the input values of a and b, and third step as to add the two variables, that is c is equal to a plus b. The fourth step will be print the value of 4. Print the value of c, and the final step will give it a stop. This is a general algorithm which is represented in the natural language that we speak. The second is through the graphical representation, and usually we follow flow chart to represent the algorithm in a graphical manner. The third one is pseudocode, which it uses some keywords. It is neither a high level language or a low level language. Okay, it is a combination of both the high level languages and the low level language. We use the terms here. We use few terms to represent the algorithm step by step sequence. These are the features of the algorithm we have. First is finiteness. Finiteness determines the number of steps that the particular algorithm should possess to produce an desired output. Next we have definiteness, which is preciously specified set of inputs, and so that it will be producing the absolute output. Then we have clearly specified input. So the input what we are giving to a system should be defined and obviously defined in a better manner, so that it works with the instruction given, and it will be capable of producing the desired output. That is what it is, clearly specified input, so that we'll be able to get the expected output, and finally the effectiveness. So we have many logic to implement in an algorithm for a same set of problem statement, and we are supposed to choose best among it, and we have to implement that. Okay, these are all the features we have in the algorithm. And when we go over the challenges that we face to address an algorithm, there are few challenges. The first is how to devise or design an algorithm. The first and foremost thing concerned with algorithm is creating an algorithm for a given problem statement. How do we develop an algorithm? That is the first step. Then how to express an algorithm, definiteness. We may have several ways of representing it. Among that, which is the best suited logic, or which is the best suited method to implement our algorithm. Choosing that is obviously a challenging task. Then we have how to analyze an algorithm. So concerned with the analyzing the algorithm, we have two factors. One is time and space complexity, which will be discussed later. Then the next is how to validate an algorithm, that is fitness. Okay, when we choose a particular algorithm, how do we evaluate the correctness of an algorithm? How do we evaluate the effectiveness of the algorithm? That is also a major concern we have. And last is to how to test an algorithm. That is nothing but checking for an. Usually we work when we develop an application, or when we develop a program, we usually check with an dummy data to find out the error. These are all the factors concerned when you design an algorithm. Okay, this is what when we concern with algorithm, there is a process of designing an algorithm and analyzing the algorithm. Okay, we have following steps in design and analysis of an algorithm. First is understanding the problem. The problem statement should be clearly specified. Only when your problem statement is clearly specified, the forthcoming steps what we execute will be able to produce an effective output. Next, after understanding the problem statement, we should decide on computational means. Okay, we should decide on what are the different techniques available to solve that problem, what are all the different algorithms we have, and what are all the appropriate solution we have, and we have to decide on that. Okay, we have to consider all this factor, and the third step will be we'll be choosing the best among it, and we'll be designing an algorithm. Next will be proving the correctness of that algorithm. We have certain strategies to prove the correctness of algorithm, so we'll be adopting those strategies to prove the correctness of the algorithm. Then we have analyzed the algorithm. So when you go with analyzing of an algorithm, there comes two factor, space complexity and time complexity, that will be discussed in the next slide. Okay, then finally we'll go for the code of the algorithm. This is the process where we design an algorithm and we carry out an algorithm. Okay, generally we summarize all these steps into a 6-step problem solving loop. First is to identify the problem. Second, to understand the problem. Third, to identify what are all the available solution for a given problem statement. And next, you have to identify the best among that. After identifying the solutions, number of solutions available to solve a particular problem, we have to choose the best among it. That is the fourth step we have. Then fifth, we are going to execute the idea what we have chosen, the method what we have chosen, we are supposed to execute that, and finally we'll be evaluating the result. This is the 6th step of problem solving. Okay, then when it comes to analysis of algorithm, there comes two important factors. One is time complexity, the other one is space complexity. Time complexity is nothing but when you give an instruction to a computer, what is the amount of time taken by a computer to execute that set of instruction, we say it as time complexity. To say it in a simple manner, the amount of time consumed by a computer for to execute an instruction and to produce the output. This is in terms of time complexity. When you go with space complexity, it is related to the amount of memory space taken by a computer to execute a program. If I give an program, I will be giving the variables, I will be using variables, and so that when I execute it, memory has to be allocated for all those data types what I use in my program. That is space complexity. So analysis of, when it comes to the analysis of algorithm, these two concepts plays a vital role: time complexity and the space complexity. The amount of time taken by a computer to produce the output, it's the time complexity, and the amount of memory taken by a computer to execute a program is space complexity. Then when it comes to the analysis of algorithm, there are three cases. One is worst case, then you have an average case, and you have a best case. Worst case is nothing but when it consumes more amount of time and space. Average case, which is lying between your best case and worst case, and the best case is nothing but minimum amount of space and time it occupies. That is what they have specified here. When you're coming to the algorithm analysis, this two factor comes to the concern. One is time and space. Complexity of algorithm depends upon these two functions: the amount of time taken to execute and the amount of memory it occupies. Okay, that is what it is given. What is time complexity and space complexity? Again, time complexity is nothing but time taken. Here generally they define as in the numerical function t of n, where t specifies the time taken and n specifies the number of steps it is number of steps involved to execute an algorithm. And a time complexity, in a constant time, how many function it is able to evaluate, that is how many function it is able to carry out within a specified time, is your time and space complexity. Space is nothing but the amount of memory that a program occupies to execute. Okay, again they are given the definition. When do you say, how do you analyze an algorithm? You say your algorithm is best when it has these three, when it has best case in space complexity and best case in time complexity. So what is best case in time complexity? When it is consuming minimum time. Okay, when it consumes minimum time to execute a program, then we say it is a best case. And when it occupies less memory space, then we say that as an best case. Okay, so we choose an algorithm so that it has the best case in time and space complexity. This is all about your algorithm. We can next we'll try to develop an algorithm for the following scenarios: to book a ticket, to withdraw your money from an ATM, to purchase to perform a shopping in a shopping mall, and to compute a CGP of a student, and calculating salary for an employee in an organization. We'll try to create an algorithm for this scenarios. This is all about your algorithm. Thank you all.